this platinum we're dropping.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad that, Ted can't make it this week because he was accidentally put on a plane to Martha's Vineyard, and Martha's just
Yeah, well.
kind of lost. I mean, I guess that's what you get when you just are always getting on planes to go away from trouble.
See, I heard that he got on the plane intentionally
Oh,
because he loves all the people that are trying to come to this country for a better life. And he wanted to make sure
oh.
they were okay. And he's a real man of the people.
Now, see,
Ted
what
Cruz.
I heard was that he did it because all the cool kids go to Martha's Vineyard, and for some reason, he's never been asked to Martha's Vineyard.
That makes a lot of fucking sense,
And so he
actually.
figured he'd covertly
That's the
enter.
most that's the most realistic of
Yeah.
the most plausible of the rumors. Now I heard
Ladies, gentlemen, and friends beyond the binary, welcome to Girl Dick with Ted Cruz, starring Lilith Electra Zarling, Amanda Bonanza, and esteemed Republican Senator from the great state of Texas, your host, Ted Theodore Cruz.
that's right. We're doing a podcast. That's right.
Oh my
Hey
God.
every
Yeah.
hey everybody. This is welcome to the podcast. This is Girl Dick with Ted Cruz.
Unfortunately, Ted could not be here tonight. He had a chili cook-off slash fundraiser he had to be at in Laredo today, so he said he'd have to miss. But
Yeah, he can't.
he sends you all his love.
Ted and his senatorial duties.
Yeah.
Ted makes a nasty good vegan chili.
Oh man, five alarm, five alarm. You'd expect that he's so milk toasty that it'd be just like bland, but that's got like four beans,
No, not
hot as
Ted's vegan
hell.
chili.
Oh my God.
His vegan chili is so good. It's like he uses this what I don't even know if it's like soy or if it's like I don't think he uses tofu. I think it's like one of those alternatives. I don't
Yeah.
think it's tempeh. I don't Ted could tell you if he were only
If he
here, but
was
like
here,
he's super into vegan cooking. Like
but
I
he's
know he does.
also super protective of his chili recipe. So
Yeah, he
he
won't.
might, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you probably won't tell you what he
And
uses, but it's
it is
like
so
you
hot.
would think it's meat, like, and it's
Yeah,
not. It's not meat because Ted would never make a meat. Well,
yeah,
he would make meat chili, but he would be like kind of reluctant about it.
yeah,
Like it's just he would do it for someone else,
yeah,
like because he's a selfless guy.
yeah.
Like yeah, he's really into about like it's just like serving other people
I
and
mean, a
helping.
perfect Sunday is you go over to Ted's house for some yoga in the morning and,
Hmm.
open up that third eye, kind of relax. And then while you're doing it, the smells start coming because he started the chili and it's
It's an
hot
all
enough
day
that
thing.
they
Yeah.
should have just given it out last year when it got so cold in Texas. They should just doled out bowls of that five alarm, 5-star vegan chili to keep people warm. It's amazing.
Well, see, that's why he went to Cancun, though. It's because he went down there to pick the peppers by hand
I mean,
in the desert.
he
That's
does.
really what it was. It's like he has like I know a spot outside Mexicali. I know it's like like gotta go to Cancun. That's where you gotta fly into. But like I take I get in I get my little like my electric car and I drive out through the desert and like I can find a spot. They grow wild. He's got his ghost peppers and it's
Crazy,
like it's wild.
crazy.
Ted just knows so much about like other cultures. He's so worldly.
That's the thing. He's the kind of guy that no matter where you put him, no matter who he's talking to, there's a connection because chances are he's read a book from that culture or he goes out of his way to cook meals and find recipes from different cultures and cook them and he just goes out of his way to explore every part of the world and all of the human experience. And I think
Yeah.
that's why Texas keeps sending him back to the Senate, I assume.
That's why.
Uh,
It's like it's hard to not do it. It's why he's always so eloquent when he speaks. It's because he's got just that world experience.
yeah.
And it's like he's always together. He's always on it. It's like that's why they call him TED Talks because it's
Yeah.
from Ted Cruz. Because it's
Yeah.
like everyone wants to talk like Ted.
And
That's what it is.
Ted's not going to tell someone to go back to where they came from without knowing where they came from and what it was like
That's
there. That's
that's it.
that's
That's
it.
it right there. It's like
That's as far as we take it.
That's as far as I can go with a straight face.
Yeah, Ted Cruz is garbage. He's not here again.
Now Ted Cruz is digging through a dumpster in his own ass.
I think I got
I
it.
want to come out, but I don't know how to.
Okay.
I'm a closeted trans woman, pre-HRT,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to come out and have a conversation about it with my wife.
Mm,
She's very pro-trans and is
okay.
bisexual, as am I. I'm worried that when I come out, she will not love me as much, if at all. Not because she is transphobic, but because I'm not the same person I presented to be. Presented is underlined. I'm not quite sure how to quell this anxiety and be able to have a conversation like that. Any advice?
Well, I went through that. So, looking it back, I mean, standard thing we say in almost every episode is you cannot control how other people are going to react, but you have to declare your own happiness, and you have to go for your own happiness, and you just have to be ready for whatever happens next. I told my ex, and it was the slow decline of our relationship. Uh, I honestly, I really don't want to talk about this in public because I've made a rule myself that I'm not going to talk about that relationship or that person because I feel like that's what happened between us is private. But I was worried about making it on my own, and we ended up getting divorced, and I came out to everyone after that. So that had been like 4 years from telling her to coming out in public. And when I came out in public, I didn't make an announcement. I just showed up at Pride completely myself. I was actually asked to host the main stage at Pride, so there's pictures of me and stuff, and it was fabulous. And you know, do I wish like we could have kept going? I don't even know about that anymore because now that I've gone through therapy, there were some issues with that relationship.
There always
Um,
are.
you know
There
that
always
that
are.
that were outside of my control, and so um, I say be honest. One thing. You're on a discovery, and yes, you're a changed person, but you didn't misrepresent yourself. Like you were grown up in a society where, depending on how old you are, it wasn't necessarily an option for you to be who you are. So if they say that you're lying or misrepresented who you are, then they're not understanding everything you've been through. But you have to understand where they are, what they're hearing, and how they might respond to that. But also, you can't fear that. You just have to be able uh, to deal with what happens next. I often say like life is like a playing cards.
A box of chocolates.
No, life is like playing cards. You get dealt your hand and you play
Sorry.
your hand. No, it's okay. You play your hand, and the thing is, once that hand's been played, you get a dealt a fresh set of cards. So you'll play this hand, and whatever happens happens, and then a new set will be a new set of a new hand will be dealt, and it'll be either you and your wife are together and happy, and she's encouraging, and if she's not there, then you'll play that hand as well, and you just have to be ready for whatever transpires, but don't have any fear. Like, you have to be yourself, and if someone truly loves you, they want you to be happy. I mean, how could she say she loves you if she's like, I'm not for this, and I want you to stay miserable and with me for my own happiness?
Yeah.
That's my take.
I
You
don't
might have
think
another.
I don't think she's worried about that. I think what it is it is I'm gonna bring up you touched on something that like I want to kind of boomerang back to a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit, which is the part about the self guilt about because she didn't present.
yeah,
She presented differently than her true nature, which is like that's a just so you know, that's a huge part of being not only trans, which is like gay. Like as like that's just like, but like especially trans people, like we all have to do that. That's the big thing is like
yeah,
and like Lilith said, it's like you don't always have a choice. Like it's like, but it sounds like according to this person's situation that they've kind of got the best situation. Like if she's married to a bisexual, trans friendly woman, then I can't see any reason why she wouldn't be into it. Like But I mean, you just never know with people, and that's the other end of that coin, which is like, it doesn't matter how progressive people are, how cool they are, how much, you just never know how people are going to react. And like,
No.
yeah, and it's like you said, I understand. It's like, yeah, have no fear, go forth and be yourself. Like, that's a fine thing to say. It is scary. Like,
Oh,
it's
trust me,
really fucking scary.
it was
Like,
the hardest
oh,
thing I ever did in my life.
absolutely.
But
It is
after
the
I did it,
single hardest thing anyone can possibly do. There's nothing scarier than coming out of the closet. And like, and especially, I mean, it's true for any layer of the alphabet
yeah.
mafia, but like, it's especially hard for the T's, like, because it's like, we're kind of treated the worst of any by
But
society.
yeah,
And like,
I would say though, I did tell you,
yeah.
like, it was the hardest conversation I ever had, but it was also the start of completely changing my life for the better.
Oh, of
You
course. And
know,
that's the thing, is
and
we
that's the
all
thing.
have to go through that.
And
We all go through it. And like, and it is the single hardest thing that you'll ever do. And it's fucking scary. It's like, it's the
yeah,
scariest thing you'll ever do. It's the hardest thing, but you gotta do it.
you gotta do it.
And you gotta, it's like, there's no easy way to come out. There's just there's no blueprint, there's no path, there's no it's different for everybody. And like, you're gonna fuck up, and it doesn't matter how much you think about it or how much you plan it out. Like, when the time comes, you're gonna be a blubbering mess of tears and
Oh yeah.
snot.
Oh
And
yeah.
like, and it's gonna be like, and you're gonna
It's
say
not gonna
things
be
that
like
sound
it's not gonna be
stupid.
exactly like that.
Uh,
Yeah, you're gonna
I
be fine. And I would say like
No, maybe. I mean, that's the thing, is like, there's no guarantee that you will be fine. Like, it's like, but you got to do it. You can't not do it. Like, staying in the closet is not an option. Like, if you know, which
you're
this
just
girl
gonna you're
clearly does.
continue to
Like,
be
yeah,
more miserable. I
yeah,
mean, if you
yeah.
don't
It's
come
like,
out,
you
yeah.
can't go on. Like,
Yeah.
you get to a certain point. Like, I put it off way too long, and like, I knew it forever, but like, I just didn't feel safe, and I was comfortable where I was, and I was scared, and like, I was like, oh god, I didn't want to lose friends, I didn't want to deal with the repercussions of it, and I didn't. And so I just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, until I got to this point where it was just so, I just knew I would die if I didn't do something about it. And I didn't have a choice. Like, it was just like, it was no longer, I ran out of ground. Like,
Yeah.
that was the cliff edge. I got up to it. There was no more road left.
Yeah.
Like, and like,
Like, well,
that's what did it for me. And so, in a way, it was the least courageous coming out
no,
of
stop.
anyone.
You could have
Well,
kept being miserable.
I'm just saying, like, it's just like, it wasn't like, because everyone says that. Everyone says, like, oh, you're so brave. You're so, I
Oh,
wasn't brave. Like, it was fucking, I didn't have a choice. It was survival. Like, there's a difference between being brave and like, not having a choice. Like,
yeah.
it's like the Saw movies. It's like when Jigsaw's like, you gotta eat your own butt to get out of this trap. Like, it's like if you're chained to a thing, and like, the acid's bubbling up, and you gotta eat your own butt to get out of it, then that's what you gotta do. It's like, you don't have a choice. The acid's gonna get you. It's like, that's not courage. That's that's desperation. They're two different things. And I'm not saying it doesn't take courage to come out, because it does. It's like, and it but to me, it's just, I always found that kind of almost insulting. Like, it's like, don't call me brave. Like, it's like, I'm not brave. I just want to live. Like,
Actually, anytime
it's like,
anytime someone calls me brave, I'm like, please, like, that's just a reminder that I'm just not allowed to exist the way I want to exist. It's like, you're so
right.
brave. You live in Virginia and you're trans and you're out. It's like, oh well, I hadn't really thought about all that, but now I'm afraid to leave the house. Thanks very much.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks, thanks. I gotta think about that. But yeah, I like I said, I when I tell people, what I did, I do, like you got to do it. You're right. It's not that easy. It was very difficult for me. It was the hardest conversation I had in my life. My life was miserable afterwards because of, the reactions, but it was the first, and maybe we'll have a special episode where I just talk about how fucked up my life was up until that point. But it really launched me into kind of getting rid of all these things that I've been holding on to that, you know, like I said, I'm a man, so I have to do this. It got that all, and
Yeah.
really just started me exploring who I was and living myself to the fullest and taking risks. And that was like the bottom for me. And like ever since then, it really is about like embracing who I am and following my dreams. And like that conversation started that for me. As painful as it was, as much as things fell apart after that, it really proved to me that I can survive. Trans people are survivors. You're gonna survive.
Yeah.
And hopefully they're
And
with you. Obviously I don't want your marriage to break up, but just be ready for whatever happens. And
yeah.
and don't back down. Like I said, this is another thing we say every episode is, you're not here you don't have to exist to comfort others. You have to be yourself. And you know don't change who you are. Don't hold yourself back. It's just like be honest and you know see, play with what happens next. And that's really
And
the only
that's
thing
such
you can
an
do.
easy thing to say.
I just
Because the
said
thing,
that.
and I
I
know
just
that, and
said that.
I'm not like like nailing you to the wall. I'm just saying, like, it's like, yes, you hear that, like we all hear that. I heard that, like, but it doesn't change how fucking hard it is, and
No.
and that's that. Now, like I said, I think this girl's got like the choice situation. She's dating. You're in a bisexual relationship with a trans positive woman that you love and that loves you. You're probably gonna, like, in all likelihood, how this particular scenario is gonna play out is she's gonna be like, oh wow, and she's gonna be a little confused at first, and she's gonna be maybe a little, or maybe she knew already. Maybe she's like, yeah, I've been waiting. Like that could be a thing too. It's like, yeah, it's about fucking time, girl. Like, yeah, let's get that fucking let's get these clothes on you. Let's do your makeup. It's like, and like that could be it too. She could be just like, yeah, she's just been like looking at her watch and been like, okay, yeah, finally, yeah, all right, great. Now let's get down to business here and let me peg you. Let me show you how it's done. Like, it's
Yeah,
like that could be, but that, like, okay, so I have some friends in Seattle, and they're married, and like the my friend, like, I'm friends with both of them, but like I met one of them who's trans, and she came out the same time as I did. Like we went to, like, we were like right on the same time frame, and that's how we knew each other. And like we both watched each other go from, like, just completely full from one end to the other, and it's just one of those things. So we're real tight, and we always will be. And she was married to this awesome bisexual trans positive woman, and like, and she was, it was a little rocky at first, but like it didn't take long, and now they're just like, they're tighter than they've ever been. Their relationship's healthier than it's ever been. Their sex is better than it's ever been. Like, it's like, I mean, that's the other thing, is your sex is about to get so much better. Like, it's like having sex as the wrong gender is the fucking
it,
worst.
it
It's
is.
fucking
It
awful. It
is.
was awful. It's the worst thing. It's gonna get so much better for you. Like, so that alone really does justify it. But
I
like,
love how
I mean, there's
I finish talking and then you're just like, but it's not that easy. But then everything you say is like, here are all the best case scenarios.
well, because it is like, because it is that it is inevitable. I mean, it's like, if you've gotten to the point where and you're just trying to figure out how to do it, like, at this point it's just the mechanics. It's like you're right at the precipice. Like, you're inside your egg, but you've been pecking at it. Like, it's ready to go. You can see you can see through. You're already there. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna do it. You're gonna come out. You're gonna tell her, and like, but like, the sad part about this is like there's just no roadmap for it. It's different for everybody. There's no right way to do it. There's no wrong way to do it.
It's like eating
But
a
the way
repeat.
you do it is going to be wrong. It's gonna be wrong. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck so bad.
You know what? Here's
Like,
the thing. Little coach knowledge. There's no right or wrong. You're just gonna do what you do, and then things are gonna play out, and then you'll get to another point where you have to make a choice, and you'll make that choice. And the choice isn't right or wrong. It's just a choice you have to make, and you deal with the fallout. And so I think we like to think in these situations where that I always call it playing chess against yourself. You're just like, well, I'm going to say this, and then she's going to say this, but then I'll say this, and then she'll say this. And then what really
right,
happens is you say this, and she says something you weren't even expecting. And it's like, now you're just dealing with that moment. And that's all it is. It's like,
right.
figure out how you want to come out.
Oh,
There's no right or wrong way to do it. She's going to react. You're going to have to make another choice on how to react to that. And just be as honest with yourself and with her as you can. And, there you are.
that's it. That's
That's
it.
it.
I mean,
That's
boy,
it.
you
And
just
then,
nailed
and then,
it. You just nailed me to the wall because
and
that's
then,
exactly what it was like. I went through my I I had I stewed for like 8.5 hours from when I like told someone I had something to tell them and then actually got the chance to tell them. And I was sitting there for 8.5 hours just going down all the worst paths. Like just like I was a
yeah.
fucking mess.
Here's the
It
tip
was
though.
terrible.
If you approach your decisions that way, that there's not a right or wrong answer, I'm just going to make my choice. It like makes those decisions so much easier. It's like you really
Mhm.
can just follow your heart because 99% of the time when we have a choice, we know what we want to do,
Right,
and
right.
the
That's
1%
really
of
good
our brain
advice.
is talking us out of it. And I think when people, I mean, that's how I've changed. It's just like because here's an example: you could do A or B, and you do A and it doesn't work out the way you thought. That doesn't mean necessarily that if you'd taken B, it would have worked out. You had taken B, and something
Right.
else would have happened. And it's all about how you respond and how you make those next choices. And keep that in mind. It's like follow your heart, do what you think is right for you, and for the obviously as the relationship moves forward, you have to if depending on how she reacts, you have to figure out what's going to be best for you and how you want to move forward. And that's all it is. It's like there's no right or wrong way to do it. Even once you do it, even if it doesn't go your way, that doesn't mean you did it wrong. It just means you have to deal with this new reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it might end up, where it doesn't work out, and there's so many ways it could go. Like you just don't know. Like you're
Yeah, I
laughing, but
know.
it's like, but
Because
I mean,
you keep bringing up like all the mites, and it's like the mites don't
because it's
matter.
real. But
But
I'm
the
just
point
saying,
is like you can't get too down on what might happen bad or too up on what might happen good. You can just follow your heart.
right? You have to do it. You got to
Yeah.
go through it. But yeah, I mean, Lilith's right. Like she's just right. Yeah.
That's all
Okay.
right. I got a question for us, and
Yeah. What do
I'll
you
I'll
got? What
def
do you
I'll
got?
definitely be wrong on. This is again less a question, just like an open-ended conversation. Are trans things you would want to see in the media? I would like to see the struggle. This person says they would like to see the struggle of coming out every day with everyone. And also, I would like to see a character being happy for the first binder, first dress, and Spinny go.
Yeah. Yeah. We all have
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Your first spinny dress. Oh my God. What pleasure. What pleasure. Oh, nothing
You
tops
ever just
that. Like,
been
or
you
the,
just in a dress, just swaying your hips back and forth to the dress? Oh my God, yeah,
oh,
it's so
oh,
great. Here's one thing I want to see
yeah,
because
wait
when I
so
saw
long
this,
for it.
it's so great. This is one thing that when I saw this question, I knew exactly what I wanted because it's part for us, but also part would piss the fuck off the people I exactly want to piss off.
Hmm.
And it's uh right now, like in video games, we both play video games. There's always like character creation, and so the main character is just however you want to envision them. And so if you want to be a just straight white dude, you can be that. If you want to be this, you can be that. And what I would love Grand Theft Auto 6 to have multiple protagonists again, and it just be a woman of color and a trans woman and a trans dude, and like no cis white males, and just like there you go, and no customizing. You just those are your characters you play with, and it's just like okay, well, you've got to exist as a trans, because right now diversity in video games is like, well, anyone can be what they want, but for so long we were forced to play as whatever they told us was, which was almost always just a white dude. So it's like, how great would it be for like a AAA game like Grand Theft Auto or like the next Red Dead Redemption or whatever, to just be like a trans person or a woman, and no working your way out of it. No, if you're a dude playing this game, you're gonna play this through the eyes of a person of color or a trans woman. uh, I think that would be great, just to like for a company to take that kind of risk.
I heard that's exactly what they're doing. Actually,
Shut
I heard the
up.
rumor on on GTA 6 that's like woman of color is the protagonist. I don't know about all of it,
Yeah,
but like almost 100%. That's definitely what's happening.
that's
Like,
dope as fuck. And
yeah,
I just
I think you're
want to
gonna be a
drink.
Chicano lady.
I just want to
Yeah,
drink all the tears of all the white dudes who have to, like, after Last of Us, they were complaining, Last of Us Part 2,
they
because
complain about fucking
they fucking
everything. That's
everything. It's
all
like
they do.
it's
They're
like
just
you
the
have
biggest fucking
99% of the world
babies.
is
Like,
yours, and you have to
they're
cry
just
about
like,
1%.
oh, oh, it's a black mermaid. Oh, like, you're all snowflakes. You're the snowflake.
It's weird because then
You're
they
so
also
sensitive.
they're like,
Why?
well, what if
Why you're taking
okay, all
everything
right.
from me?
They're like, what if Black Panther was played by a white person? I'm like, well, first of all, you segregated all the comic book characters that are black have to be Black something, Black Vulcan, Black Panther. But then there's Black Widow, and even Black Widow is a white lady. So
Yeah.
you even got and you just totally ignored that. It's like you already
I
have.
mean, what if Gandhi was played by a white man, a white British man? Like, can you fucking imagine? How wild would that be?
How wild would that be?
Like if like yeah, like I mean if there was ever a white person would play a black like if what if a white person played Othello?
What if
Like, oh
What
shit,
if
did that
John
happen?
Wayne? What
Yeah.
if John Wayne played
Yeah.
Genghis Khan?
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
That is
I
like
know, like
John Wayne is Genghis Khan. Oh, he didn't like he's like Sean Connery. He didn't
was it
try to make
Willem
out.
Dafoe played Jesus Christ?
Yeah, yeah, but like just
I'm sorry,
John Wayne with
Jesus
his
of where was it? Where was it? Bethlehem? Is that where he was from?
Jesus is from Nazareth. Jesus Christ.
Jesus of Nazareth?
Yeah.
I think he's from Bethlehem, but I think he's from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Is what I think. It's like,
That's Dr. Oz. He's the Jesus of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
He's the Jesus of daytime talk.
But no, John Wayne played Genghis Khan and made no effort to do an accent or not be John Wayne. He's just like, well, all right, pilgrims, let's go fight with our Mongol hordes. It's like, what is going on here? And they were like, that's an
I
Oscar.
call this I call this a stir fry.
And that is how John Wayne invented stir fry.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, of course John Wayne played Genghis Khan.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. Of
It was
course.
the role he was born to play. It's like, I think that was the entire inspiration for Joe Arpaio's existence. It's like John Wayne as Genghis Khan. It's like, that's what I'm gonna do.
That's what I'm gonna do. Let us go, brothers, and fight. And I was like, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
What are we talking about?
Trans things we want to see in the media.
Trans things we want to see in the media. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad because like I kind of don't care. Like it doesn't like there's not.
It
I
is
don't
not a big
care at
thing for
all.
me.
Like yeah.
I think you and I both like at the same place where we're just like out here doing our thing and being like, that's great. Like I'd love to see it as like someone else sees a trans actress or an actor
Yeah,
in a thing like that. I'm great because that lifts you up. I'm
like honestly like Laverne Cox on on Curb Your Enthusiasm was kind of
Or
enough.
yeah,
It's like
you know, what would
her
be
playing
cool
herself. Like, yeah, it's like,
if
yeah,
there was
but
a trans woman in a TV show who absolutely didn't pass. Like most times, you have to go like Wikipedia, be like, is this
yeah,
actress trans? Be like, it'd be great if it was just, or you know what? How about just trans people playing trans people?
that's kind of more like, well, okay, I'll even take it a step further. What I
Yeah,
would like to see more than anything else
yeah,
is like a trans person just being a normal person in society and treated fine. Like
yeah,
they didn't have any fucking, it wasn't a fucking issue. They were just doing their thing. Like just like everyone else. Like, and it was just the fact that they're trans is absolutely inconsequential to any aspect of the part because it doesn't fucking matter.
yeah.
Like that would do it for me. It's like, it's just, that's just, they're trans just like the other person's, like, not, or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, it's like, yeah. I mean that
I,
but go on.
I was gonna say, you did inspire me a little there. I would like to see a trans superhero, and I know there's already a trans superhero, but like Punisher style, where there's just like a trans person with a trunk full of guns, just doling out justice to assholes. I
The
could,
Punishe her.
I, there you go. That's gonna exist. That's gonna exist by the end of the year. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, I'm here for it.
Yeah, no, it'd be fucking dope.
And then when they turn it into a movie, it could be played by Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
great. It'd be fucking great. Perfect.
nice,
Perfect role for
nice,
that fucking sack of shit.
nice.
Like, Dave Chappelle and his sidekick Ricky Gervais.
Rob Envy. That was not as good as
Like Dave
Punishe either.
Chappelle's the Punishe her going off and like destroying the Nazis, like taking out the fucking bigots, and then like Ricky Gervais is like the nerdy trans woman, and like
Who's a computer
like that,
expert?
but like
Who's
the
a computer
computer
expert?
expert that like how like when Dave Chappelle can't figure out, like I just can't fucking deal with it. It was like I got it. Ricky, I got it, mate. I got it.
Yeah, because Ricky Gervais is one of those actors who just plays. He's like fucking John Wayne. He just plays Ricky Gervais. He's just like, I'm not gonna act.
He
No.
played that one thing where he was like the autistic guy in like the hospital
It's like,
or like
yeah,
the
right, punish,
institution.
right, yeah,
I
I
mean,
got it, right,
that
yeah.
was kind of acting. Like I don't know. I don't want to give him any credit though, because he's a fucking sack of shit, and I fucking hate Ricky Gervais. Like he
Aw.
sucks. Like he's always. I mean, I used to like him. That's the thing, is that's why same thing with Dave Chappelle. Like I was a fan of Dave Chappelle like back in the day,
Did I not
and
tell
I
you
was
the
a
Dave
fan.
Chappelle thing? My Dave
What about?
Chappelle theory. So Dave Chappelle had that incredibly successful TV show, was getting like
Yeah,
25
it's
million
great.
views
It's
to
a
it.
fantastic
And
show.
the story is they were filming and he saw like the white crew. Some of the white crew members were laughing at it for the wrong reason. In fact, they were laughing at the black people in that situation. And so he quit because he didn't want to play into those biases against black people. And he goes back and instead of like reflecting on his style of comedy and how bigots were embracing that and laughing at him instead of with him, he just changed the focus to trans people and like went
Yeah.
back to embrace it. So he's embracing the same people that he didn't want to do comedy for anymore. He's just like, they're not laughing at black people, so it's okay. And it's so
No, and that's
weird.
the thing
Yeah,
that's
that's the
like
thing.
it's
It's like,
wild about him, because he's a huge like black rights activist, and like he's all about it. And fair enough, that's good.
well, I mean, we all
Um
should be.
yeah, but like it's like that's pretty fucking one dimensional, man. It's like you're in a shop. I mean, like, it's like I'm sorry, like I get it. Like I also want like black people to have equality and like equity and like to be able to navigate the world and equal opportunity. I think that should
But the thing
happen
is, like,
too.
if that's
But like I
all
mean,
he
like
wants,
it's like just because I'm trans, I don't hate on other minorities or other marginalized communities. It's like, no, I want us all to rise to come up
that's
together. It's
what's
like
so weird.
I don't understand that sort of like parsed
I just
I
can't
only
imagine like
care about the marginalized community that I'm in, like and everyone else can eat my fucking balls.
and
Like
like
it's like yeah,
I'm appealing to bigots, and instead of
yeah,
changing my comedy and no longer appealing to bigots, I'm just going to appeal to a bigot that a way that doesn't bother me.
right.
And it's just
Get
like,
that
okay,
get that sweet bigot money.
it's out there.
That's a
I mean,
lot
it's
of
out
it.
there.
That's where
Yeah, there's a
most
lot of
of the
bigot money
money
out
is
there.
there.
If there's
That's like
one
kind
thing
of where most of it
if there's
is.
one thing
Yeah.
we've learned is there's a lot of bigot money out there.
A lot
The
of
bigot
money in
market is
being a
huge.
racist. Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of it's big money.
yeah.
Just a booming industry. I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty gross.
So what about like so trans things in media? Like what about like a trans like a news anchor or anything like that or reporter? I don't even know if
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like I said, it's like I kind of just like the one thing that would do it for me, the thing that would make me the most happy is if it was if it wasn't a if it there wasn't a big deal about it. Like because I don't think I'm not like look at us, we have a trans person. It's like no, it's just that was the best person for the job, so they got it. Like and like and that how about that? That's what I want. I want the world where like it doesn't fucking matter. That's
that's
what I
a
want.
whole nother
Like,
conversation because honestly, I'm sick of living in a world where the only people who earned what they got is white dudes and everyone else was just like hired
just handed it to
they're
them.
like,
Yeah, it was just affirmative
you're
action.
hired
Yeah.
because you're a woman or you're a person of color or you're trans. But it's like, so that's, imagine going through your life and everywhere you saw someone who wasn't just a straight white dude doing a job, you just, your first thought was like, that person, there's a straight white dude who doesn't have this job and acting like they earned it. And you go to these small towns whereas like dudes who work for like the public works department and like their dad and their grandfather and their great grandfather all work for that public works department and they act like that like nothing none of that played a part in them getting that job. They're just like, I earned
Right.
this
No, I
job.
earned everything.
I earned this.
Well, that's the thing is the people that are born into things are the ones that think they earned it the most.
Yeah. Or
It's
like
like
they don't want to
it's like
this
they're the
one
ones that pull. Yeah, they're the merit. They're all about the meritocracy, like
right.
because they think they've earned everything that they have, and they have like they don't understand the concept. Like, what do you mean privileged? I had a bad day. Like
Yeah.
it's
Or it's
like
like
everything didn't go by. What do you mean privileged? There's a black little mermaid. That's not
yeah.
privilege.
Or like we can't have we can't let a person of color into Yale because it goes over a more qualified white people. But George Bush going to Yale because his grandpa bought a building,
Right.
like this, they another white person that lost out on that too. Like they're like, just think about it for a second. More rich people get stuff they don't deserve because they're rich than people of color get stuff that they don't deserve or that
Well, clearly, but I mean,
it's like that the whole argument falls apart. It's
well, I
like,
mean, but that's the thing about being a bigot is like no one it being stupid and ignorant is a prerequisite.
it's a
Like
prerequisite.
it's like you can't be a bigot if you're not already stupid because like the cure for bigotry is thinking about it for 5 seconds. Like that's literally destroys it. Like and it doesn't matter what kind of bigotry, anti-trans, anti-black, anti-Jewish, whatever. Like if you think about it for 5 seconds, the bigotry's gone.
Oh man,
It just
none
disappears
of this
because
makes
it's
any
like, wait,
sense.
that doesn't make any sense. Huh?
My
Like
entire
it's
belief
like
system doesn't make sense. When you come, I thought about it for 5 seconds,
five
and
seconds. It's all it
yeah,
takes
that's
is five
really
seconds, but they don't. They don't, and they refuse. And if you try and get them to, they get angry because they're just like, no, no, I'm right. It's like, but you didn't think about it, but think about it. No, I'll never think about it. That's indoctrination. Like, it's like,
try to get me to critical race theory.
yeah,
Yeah,
you teaching critical race theory? That's the devil. That's the devil. It's like, do you know what it is? What is it? What do you think that is? But I don't know. Hate white people. Hate white people. That's critical race theory. You hate white people. Like, no one teaches that, bud.
No one teaches that.
It's not a thing.
That's
Doesn't
not a thing.
exist. It's not real. It's like that meme of like the right wingers like setting up the cardboard ghosts in their fort and then just cowering. Like it's just like that's what they do. They just make these ghosts. They just invent things to be afraid of. They just make them up out of whole cloth. It's just like you're just so stupid. You're just so dumb. And it's like I
didn't want to. As much as like we are.
I can't help it. I have more patience for these fucking yahoos.
Wouldn't do a podcast to help trans people and not bash bigots. Like we get it, but this isn't really going to help trans people. The only thing I would say is that like the one thing that is helpful is that if you get like. You don't have to, especially online. You don't have to engage these people.
No,
and they live on your engagement. They're not there to learn about anything, and they might even ask the question. It sounds like they're learned, like, "Oh, I'm curious about," and you like they just keep moving the goalpost stuff. Like, just don't engage with them.
Yeah, they're it's like it's never gonna work. They're not there to have. They're not there in good faith. They're not there.
Exasperate you.
They're there they're there for the sole purpose of being antagonistic. Like they get off on it. Which like that's why like one of my
way to live your life. Just a weird way to live.
Well, I'll tell you one of my it is weird. It's like it's psychopathic. It's that. But like one of my moves is. And I think it's a good one is because I've been trying to like as life goes on, I just stay out of it. It's just like whatever. I don't need to poison my brain with that poison. So that's it's just poison.
Yeah.
And then like but every now and then I'll get the inkling where it's like, okay, I gotta tear one of these fuckers. I gotta rip a new asshole for this fucking idiot clown. And so but my move for that is to just it's like a straight fucking one. It's just a straight headshot, which is just like you go in, you put them in their place, and you block them.
Yeah,
before they even get to see it.
Don't respond.
Like just don't respond. Don't let them contact you. Just go in, snipe, get out. Like just straight assassinate them. And then because that's the thing is like they can't retort to that. Then it's like you block them, and then they see it, and then they're like. They try and they're like, they can't do it. They can't do their owning the libs.
They haven't owned the libs. Now they've got
own the libs.
Yeah, they got blue balls because of that.
Yeah. But then they'll take it on someone else. So it's still they're gonna do that anyway. It's like,
Well, I hope we helped some people today.
I always hope we help people.
Yeah. I think we help
even
people.
if it's just like even if it's just helping them have a little.
You should you know what you should do?
Goofballs and some funny bones, little ha ha ha.
How about this? How about you guys in the comments put trans things you'd like to see in the media, and maybe if we get some good ones, we can and then you can click like and subscribe. I just watched a YouTube video, and this is how they end them all.
You do have to click like and subscribe.
Ring that little bell for
Gotta do it.
Yeah, but I would say let us know trans things in the comments that you'd like to see in the media. I would also say if you have an interesting or just like a story you want to share about you coming out, whether it's to a spouse like our first question or anything. Let us know that too, and we're always looking for people with questions and stuff, and so feel free to drop a comment. We'd be happy to talk about it.
And if you have a question specifically for us and you'd like us to address it directly, you can email us at I know.
What?
Now we're gonna bust it out. It's the email address is girldickwithted@gmail. That's girldickwithted@gmail.com. We'll put it it'll be in the thing.
Yeah, it'll be at the bottom there. Yeah, I guess.
It already is. Like, it's already, it's like magic.
Right there?
It's been there. It's been there the whole time. It's
over there.
Fucking wild.
Okay.
That's right in the middle there. It's like,
right there.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I think when you drop
it's definitely gone by now. Now we're just making fools of ourselves.
And with that,
this is what happens. This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps. This is what happens when you get disassociated with time in the way that we have. This is what happens when a weasel gets into the super collider at CERN.
Yeah.
It's just like
This is what happens.
this is what happens.
All right. Well, let me
This
do
is what
let me
happens.
do the NPR style closing. And
Yeah, please,
yeah. So
please.
she's been Amanda Bonanza. I've been Lilith Zarling. This has been Girl Dick with Ted Cruz. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.